Hey everyone, welcome back to Bedtime Stories with Miss Byrne. Tonight we will be reading chapter 7 of Clementine. Now, Clementine has had quite the week so far. She's cut off Margaret's hair, she's cut off her own hair, they've both tried to color their hair, and Clementine has been at the principal's office, I think 3 times so far this week. Well, in chapter 7, it's now Friday, so hopefully we're here at the weekend. Maybe her week will start to get a little bit better. Let's see. I knew Friday was going to be a bad day right from the beginning because there were clear parts in my eggs. I can't eat eggs if they have clear parts, I reminded my mother. Eat around them, she said. Just eat the yellow parts and the white parts. But I couldn't because the clear parts had touched the yellow parts and the white parts, so all I had was toast. Have you got all your stuff? My dad asked as I was leaving. A bit dramatic, look at her. So far, not so good. Of course, I said, right in my backpack. But when I went to show him my homework, 3 sentences about the planet Saturn, which I had decorated with a picture of some squirrels I'd seen in the park, it wasn't there. Better go check the black hole, he said. I gave my dad a, that's not funny look, but I went back into my room to check. The black hole is what my dad calls the place under my bed. He says things mysteriously disappear there. I do not think fathers should be comedians. My homework paper was not under my bed, and the rest of the day got worse. On the bus, Margaret walked right past our usual seat and sat down to Amanda Lee, even though all Amanda Lee can talk about is going to the mall, which is boring. Plus, anyone with a name as beautiful as Amanda Lee probably made it up. Then, as soon as I got to school, the teacher said, "The following students are excused from recess so they can catch up on their journal writing." And I was one of the following students. 3 times during journal writing, the teacher said, "Clementine, you need to pay attention." And every time he said it, I was paying attention. I was paying attention out the window where the 4th graders were playing pickle in the middle. Whenever the ball came anywhere near Margaret and Amanda Lee, they grabbed each other and shrieked like they were being murdered, which everyone knows means we are best friends. There's Margaret with Amanda Lee. When my teacher moved my seat away from the window, I was GLAD glad. And I wrote all over my journal page, "I don't care," so hard my pencil broke. When I got home from school, I was planning on going straight to my room to draw a picture of me with my new best friend. But my dad was putting on his raincoat, and it was not raining out. "Fighting pigeons is not for the weak-hearted," he said. "It takes superhuman courage and resourcefulness and cleverness." When my dad talks like this, it means he has a new idea. "You have another battle plan?" I asked. "Yup," he answered. "And it's a doozy. I'll probably be promoted to general for this one." "You already are the general, remember?" "Oh, right. I'm so modest, I sometimes forget. Well, I bet I'll get the Medal of Honor." "Dad, I might even be knighted for this one." "Dad," I said. Sometimes my dad needs help staying serious. "So what is the new battle plan?" My dad looked around like he thought there might be spies sneaking up on us. Then he bent over and whispered in my ear, "Psychological warfare." This sounded like a good one, so I followed him out and sat on the steps to watch. I could do that drawing later. First, my dad hosed off the sidewalk, then sprayed the pigeons until they flew away. All the time he was muttering things like, "Oh, they're crafty all right, but I'm craftier," and "It's a little known fact that pigeons were the 8th deadly plague to visit Egypt." Then he pulled a brown plastic owl from a bag. He got a ladder and climbed up and put the owl right on top of the lion's head over the lobby door. I asked him what that was for. "The pigeons will take one look at that owl, and then they'll head for the hills. Well, for another building. Pigeons are deathly afraid of owls. Yep, I'll probably be knighted." "It's plastic," I reminded him. "But the pigeons don't know that. That's the brilliance of my plan." I didn't see what was so brilliant. I didn't see how a little plastic owl was going to frighten off a flock of pigeons who fought over who would get to sit on the head of the roaring lion. And while we stood there, Dad admiring his brilliant battle plan and me worrying about it, the pigeons came back. They settled on their regular perches all over the front of our building, except for a few who decided to sit on the owl's head. What my dad needed was something real. Polka Dotty would have scared them off. Dad put the ladder and his raincoat away and came over and sat beside me. "You still miss her, don't you, sport?" I nodded. "I miss seeing her when I get home from school. I miss patting her where her fur was so soft under her neck. I miss hearing her purr when I fall asleep. I even miss the smell of her cat food." "That's a lot of missing," my dad said. "And she would have scared off those pigeons, wouldn't she?" "Absolutely. That was one terrifying cat." "Dad, she would have been terrifying 2 pigeons," I said. And then I had one of the most astounding ideas of my whole career. I jumped up and gave my dad a kiss right where his beard stopped being crunchy. Then I ran back into the apartment, went to my bedroom, and reached under the mattress where I keep my favorite picture of Polka. Then I ran to the copy shop at the corner. "Can you make this bigger?" I asked. "How big do you want it?" the clerk asked back. I took out my wallet and laid all my birthday money on the counter. "How big can you make it for this much?" The clerk counted my money and thought for a minute. "I can make that cat the size of a German Shepherd for that much money." "Perfect," I said. Here's her and her dad. You can see the pigeons are not scared of his owl trick. Then he took the money and the picture of Polka and told me to come back the next day at 4. I ran home and let myself into the apartment. My dad and Mom were in the kitchen. "One left," my dad said. "One's all we need," said my mom. "Do you think we should do it?" "I think so," my dad answered. "I think it's time." What do you think they're talking about? "Okay," my mom said. "I'll call tomorrow." One's all we need? I slammed the door behind me so they would know I was there. If they were talking about getting rid of me so they'd only have one kid, the easy one, I wanted them to stop. Not that I was worried. They probably weren't even talking about me anyway. "Shh," my dad said. "She's home." Okay, fine. I was worried. Uh-oh. That's the end of the chapter. What do you think her parents were talking about? They have one left, and one is all they need. All right, we'll be back tomorrow with chapter 8. Hopefully we'll find out. Bye-bye.